This is the fourth essential lesson for playing Dragon Age Inquisition, and it's about fighting. So yes, there is fighting in Dragon Age Inquisition, but it's not gory fighting like there is in some games. And you know, the fighting's important because it's a hero's journey where there are villains and threats, there's even dragons. So if you set the game on casual, which is a setting that makes it as easy as possible, you'll start out with some pretty easy fights, but as the game goes on, fighting will get tougher, your foes will get better, but you'll be better too because you'll have better skills and better equipment. So here's how to fight in Dragon Age Inquisition.
Normally when you're playing the game, you play as yourself, but it is also possible to play as one of the 3 companions that go along with you on your journey. And you can switch to those by pushing up and down on the D-pad. You can see which character you are by the circle and spikes in this upper left-hand corner, and your perspective changes to reflect which character you're in. So at this point I was Varric, and now I'm switching back to myself. And I continue on. This is actually a very useful thing to do in some tough battles. Now, I'm going to tell you something sacrilegious. See the tactical camera? They teach you about it in the tutorial at the beginning. My advice to you is don't worry about this. If you're playing on casual, you don't need the tactical camera. Each character has a default fighting ability which you access by pulling the right trigger, but you also then develop special abilities as you level up. And you can see those abilities in this panel at the lower right-hand corner. You see what happens if you push X, you see the ability that happens if you push Y, and as you gain more abilities, you map them into this panel so that they're readily accessible for fighting. When you use an ability, it takes a while for it to recharge, so you have to see which abilities are actually lit up in this panel. So if I push X, do chain lightning, I use that ability and it needs to recharge, but my Y ability was available for me to fight with. And over on the left hand side you see your radar actually puts up red dots to show you where your enemies are, so that if you're getting shot from the back or the side, you can turn around and see who to fight. As I continue to fight, I'm starting to take damage, and in the upper left-hand side you see the health bars of the people, you and your companions that are with you at the time. And as I take more damage, my health meter is going down, and I'm going to need to do something about that. So the way you restore health is by taking potions that are health potions. And you access those potions by pushing in the left bumper. You'll see I have 7 left of 8 possible health potions, and I take it and I get better. Now if your health potions run out and you take damage, the character will die and you'll have to restart at some point in the game. Now most of your abilities are point and shoot, but there are some that are called area of effect attacks. And attack's kind of a strange word because the one I've got circled here in green is actually a benefit. It's a protective force, not an attack. So this circle I'm moving around on the ground is the area that will be affected when I press A, and in this case I have put a shield around both myself and Varric, and you can see that by the bar that appeared over our health in the left-hand side. You and your companions fight, but only you can close rifts. And in each land there's a quest about closing rifts, so I just put a marker on this rift in the map, and when I get there you can see the blue marker is marking the rift. Each rift has a health meter, so to speak, in the upper right hand corner, and as you continue to disrupt it and fight the foes that show up as a result, eventually the rift gets low enough that you can close it. And then you get rewarded for that, including loot, always at the bottom of where the rift was. Potions are an important part of the game, and it's important to keep them replenished. You can do that at either the apothecary in Haven or at any base camp you've established. You start out with a basic health potion that automatically replenishes itself. but you can add other potions that you have the recipe for. And as you use them up, you need to replenish them. So you can only replenish potions that you have the ingredients to make. So I was restricted there to only making one of the 5 possible regeneration potions. When I'm in Haven, I can only manage my potions, but when I get to a base camp, I can manage the potions for all of my companions. So here I'm adding the regeneration potion and making as many as I can based on my supplies. So that's fighting in Dragon Age Inquisition, and our next lesson we'll talk about finding things in the world and managing your inventory.